Hello all, my name is Jonathan Arturito Alisnaga. My student number is 1821079, and I'm gonna explain to you about my auto-detect emergency system on elderly people. So, the first question that you might ask, why did you choose older people? Why don't you choose like adult or kid or people in general? The first one, because all people are vulnerable. The second one, there's not many people in the nursery home. What I mean by this is that the ratio between the nurse people in the nursery home and the elderly people in the nursery home is so big. There are many elderly people in the nursery home, but a little number of nurse in the nursery home. The third one, older people cannot use the existing panic button. What do you mean by the existing panic button? Which application you might ask that you refer to this? So, the panic button that I refer to this is that the one that are in your App Store or Google Play, where you can just open the app and click the panic button, and the emergency service of your city or your government will come in like 5 minutes. But is it really useful for older people? Like, imagine if you are a grandpa and you are like in your 70s, and imagine one day you accidentally sleep in your bedroom, and you got no one in charge of your house, no one is looking for you, and you don't have a phone in your reach. Imagine a situation like that. It will be very dangerous. If you didn't get your help in like 5 minutes, because it can lead you to that. So that is what I'm concerning. What I really concerned about is the survivorship bias of this panic button, because they assume that whatever problem the people can get, they can reach the panic button so that they can report to the emergency service team. But the reality, not all problem can can be thing like that, can be solved like that. So why you bother solving this problem? So the first one is, most of the human will be old, and I do really care about the older people, and I want to be taken care of when I am older. So I think I gotta do what an adults do when all. The second one, I don't want to see my grandparents die, because they can't get the help that they needed when they are in danger, just like what I just referred to before. Like, imagine if your grandparents sleep sleep in the bathroom and no one in charge of helping him or her. That is very dangerous. So here's my system functional design for the project. As you can see, there are because the picture is blurry, I don't know why that is. So there are, in this functional design, there are 4 entities. The first one is database, second one is user through database, the third one is the microcontroller, the fourth one is the sensor. As you can see, they have their own method, and they interact with each other object, with each other entity they interact with other entities in this system functional design. So system recommend, there are 5 system requirements for this system. The first one, microcontroller we need microcontroller to do all the logic that is needed. The second one, sensor to monitor the elderly. The third one, we need database to store the data. The fourth one, we need a responsive website to alert important people or emergency services. The fifth one is network infrastructure in case there is no network in the area. So how does exactly the system will work? So the system will alert I would say like the admin of the website, and tell them that there is a parent that is in danger. And how do the system know when an elderly people is in danger or not? They basically plant a sensor in their body to see whether there is an accident or not. What do you mean by accident? What I mean by accident is like sleeping, or like, I don't know, like sudden heart attack. We need to we need to we need to plant sensor in their body so that we can detect and observe their body and decide whether it is when decide whether they are in danger or not. So you can see here, this is the system hardware functional block design. There are sensor to microcontroller to internet through the network infrastructure to the database to the host, and then hardware technology. So the technology that we need in the hardware serve is, the first one is global positioning system, and it is obviously intuitive that we need GPS so that when there's something happen, we know in in which in which in which place does the accident takes place, and the second one on accelerometer and gyroscope. So this is basically for the sensor in the elderly people. We use this so that we can decide whether the adult people is in danger or not. So sensor, I think it is also obvious we need button, accelerometer, gyroscopic sensor, heartbeat sensor, and GPS sensor. So for the microcontroller, I think it is also obvious that the one that I'm gonna use or implement is ASP32. So the communication module is also obvious. We need USB UART for uploading the code. We need Wi-Fi module so that the ASP32 can communicate to the internet with the internet, and we need antenna GPS module so that the microcontroller can detect its can decide or can configure where its location if compared to relative to the wall. So hardware resources that we need for this project is, I think it's only one. It is energy resource, because you cannot just bring a big energy resource to each elderly people. What we need is just like a simple energy resource, and I've been thinking about that and I choose that the energy resource that I'm gonna use is button cell. If you haven't seen button cell or heard about it, I suggest you to take a look at it in the internet. So here's the prototype mockup design, and as you can see here, the system will be literally embedded in the elderly people bodies. As you can see here, the sensor, the cell button, it is the one that is round, and the ASP32, it is the one that is green, will be embedded in the elderly people bodies and observe their condition or their state. So here's the system software functional block design. As you can see here, there are many entities here. There is user website, internet database, and then to internet again, and to microcontroller. But you also can see here that all of these entities can communicate with each other except for microcontroller. Why does microcontroller cannot be getting data? He can only send data to the internet but can retrieve it, because what microcontroller really serves in this context is just the input for the sensor. There is no other purpose of the microcontroller. So for the software technology, the first one we're gonna need JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and PHP. I think it is a pretty basic technology for the web developer. That developer usually use JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and PHP to make their website responsive and can communicate through the internet. And the second one is Google Map API. This is for displaying the map in their website in case, like I said before, if there is something something dangerous happen. So for the artificial intelligence implementation, there is no AI implementation since my system only handles the input output system and only serves as an information system. So the web server that I'm gonna use is AWS or Amazon Web Service RPS. So what is it? What is it? It is just basically like other normal cloud hosting or web hosting product services. You can search it if you want to. And then let's go to the next. And as you can see here, this is the display design and UI or user interface. In the left side, you can see the normal set interface where each elderly is in good condition. In the right side, as you can see, there is something happened to the journal. You can see that there is a notification in the website application, and you will be alerted about it. So hardware implementation. So there are 8 components that I'm gonna need in my system. The first one is obviously SP2 microcontroller. The second one is LX6 GPS module. The third one is button. The fourth one is GY 6500 MPU 6506 axis motion sensor gyroscope slash accelerometer I to C. And the fifth one is max 30100 heart rate oximeter pulse sensor for detecting the heartbeat. And I'm gonna obviously need button cell, and I'm gonna say, and also it is obvious that I'm gonna need a cell holder, and it is also very intuitively obvious that I'm gonna need a USB to button cell holder cable so that the ESP32 can get its energy from the button cell. So as you can see here, here's the system circuit schematic. I know it is bad because in the Wiko or Tinkercad there's no really representation, or there's no really a model for like GPS or heartbeat or accelerometer so that I can display so I cannot display it on the Wiko or Tinkercad. So here that is I also don't know about the wire configuration since I haven't implemented it in real life. So let's get into the next. The casing. The system is obviously a casing, but until now there is no material that we can use or I can use. The material we will use must be flexible enough so that the older people wouldn't feel anything. The material also needs to have a skin-like feature. The casing here will work as a typical casing. Its job is to protect the unprotected system under it physically. So for the software implementation plan, there are 2 things that I need for the implementation. The first one is Visual Studio Code and Arduino IDE. It is obvious that both of them is IDE. The Visual Studio Code can be used for developing the website, and Arduino IDE can be used to develop the code inside of the microcontroller. The pgadmin can be used to configure the website to configure the database. You can use this instead of the typical CLI database, pgadmin database. So here's the price for each things that we need. So the end, by implementing this system, I hope the number of older adults that die because they did not get the help that they need will be reduced. I am also open to critics and recommendation from your solution. I hope you also get an inspiration after reading this. Thank you for reading my paper.